Hello, Waswere here, back for another video. You guys asked for it, and here it is, an updated 2021 Revenants guide. I recently completed the Chaos Elemental title, which meant I killed over 25,000 Revenants. If you want to check out that video, there's a link to it in the top right. Click on it and enjoy the video. Killing all those Revenants gave me a good amount of experience of what to do at Revenants, and I wanted to pass along that information to you in guide form. Before we go any further, I need to put out a massive disclaimer. Revenants are in the wilderness, which means you can lose your items if you are PK'ed. Do not, and I repeat, do not bring anything into the wilderness that you are not willing to lose. Normally you can keep up to 4 items, but that can be dropped to 3 if you don't have Protect item on, and 0 if you also happen to accidentally skull. If you don't attack anyone, 99% of the time you'll keep 4 items, but it's not worth the risk. Now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about why you'd want to kill Revenants. Revenants drop the Ancient Warrior's equipment. This is T78 gear, which can be upgraded to T88 gear. It's seen as a cheap alternative to Tectonic and Ceramic, which means they still have some value. Additionally, the Statius Warhammer is a very important special attack weapon in high level PPM, so it has an extremely high value of 275 mil. On top of this, there are 2 titles that require you to get all the drops from Revenants, the Chaos title for completing the Chaos Elemental log, and Forinthry's Fury for completing the Wilderness Slayer log. In terms of effectively doing this method, I would suggest 96 Herblore for Overloads, 96 Summoning for a Pack Yak, 92 Prayer for Soul Split, and at least 80 attack for being able to wield the Revenant Bane two-hander. For quests, you're going to want to have Haunted Mine complete and the post-quest mini-quest of the Lair of Tarn Razorlore. Our setup is incredibly simple as we have some gear slots open. We only have 6 equipped items, as the less we bring to the wildy the better because we lose less. We have 3 pieces of the Ghost Hunter gear equipped, the goggles, body, and legs. This gives us a 10% damage increase against ghosts, and luckily for us, Revenants are undead, so it works there. The Salve Amulet E increases damage and accuracy by 20% against undead monsters, and the Ring of Wealth is there as a quick teleport out, as Dragonstone Jewelry works up to level 30 Wilderness, and Revenants are right on that border. I should note right now that luck has no impact on the Revenant rare drops. The drop rate is the same whether you have no ring, Ring of Wealth, or Luck of the Dwarves on. Do not bring a Luck of the Dwarves to Revenants. Our weapon is a Revenant Bane two-hander, which has the stats of a T79 weapon, but it has a native damage boost of 25% against Revenants, which makes it the best in slot weapon at Revenants. For perks, I went a little overboard with Precise 6 and Undead Slayer comboed. This combo can be made with 7 Arma, 1 Undead, and 1 Living. That combination gives a 55% chance of getting it, assuming you're potting up to 137 Invention. As the cost of this gizmo is quite expensive, I would only suggest getting it if you have extra components lying around. If you aren't going to go for this combo, a simple Undead Slayer gizmo is enough, which can be made on a regular gizmo with 1 Undead Slayer component 100% of the time. For the second perk, again I went overboard with Equilibrium 4 Ruthless 3. This gives a massive damage boost as you're able to maintain the Ruthless 3 stacks at maximum, giving a permanent 7.5% DPS boost. However, if you want to just throw a gizmo in there, Equilibrium 4 by itself is not too terrible. You use the same combo for getting Equilibrium 4 by itself or the combo, 8 times Time Worn components. Equilibrium 4 has a 92.9% chance, and Equilibrium 4 Ruthless 3 combo has a 5.2% chance. Circling back to our inventory, we have Super Restores or Prayer Potions to help keep our prayer up, as we're going to be praying Soul Split and Protect item the whole time. I have a couple Panic Sharks, Overloads, and then Winter Storage Scrolls to teleport the items back to the bank. One last note about the gear setup is that you can use auras. Penance is the best one, as you can maintain your prayer from the damage dealt by Revenant, while Revenants is a good backup. When you do get PK'd, and you will only keep the 3 Ghost Hunter items and the Revenant Bane two-handers, so take your gear accordingly. Like, if you don't want to lose any overloads, only take 1 6 dose, but if you don't mind losing an overload because you have a giant stack from getting 120 Herblore, then take a second one with you. Basically, decide how much you want to risk with your inventory. There are 2 items that are missing from this gear setup that have probably showed up on other Revenant guides, but I found them to be pretty useless. First up is the Forinthry's Bracelet. This is an enchanted diamond bracelet, and it has 2 special effects with Revenants. First of all, it gives you 1 minute of damage immunity from Revenants, and also makes the Revenants unaggressive for an hour. This is actually bad. We want to use the aggressive nature of the Revenants to be able to AFK a little bit more, and our damage output is more than enough to maintain our HP with Soul Split, assuming we remember to overload. If you don't have 92 prayer, you can use the Forinthry Bracelet to not take any damage. The other item is Jennica's Ring, which is a reward from the Spirit of Summer. It improves the Revenant drops, but not in the way we want it to. It doubles the drop rate of the regular item. So for the Revenant Dragon, it has a 5 and 512 drop rate of a Dragon Scimitar. With Jennica's Ring equipped, it becomes 10 in 512. This is really minor, and it will have little impact on our overall GP per hour. On top of that, you lose it every time you get PK'd, which makes it a pain to get back and re-gear quickly. It does not impact the drop rate of the expensive drops from Revenants like the Statius Warhammer or any of the Ancient Warriors equipment, contrary to popular belief. Continuing on the theme of losing items on death, you will lose a Salve Amulet E every single time you get PK'd, as it's not in your top 4 items. You can rush back to your death spot and pick up your Salve after each death, but if someone is camping that world, then you won't be able to. Also, after dying, you might just rage quit, I know I did a couple times, and not want to go back right away. To get around that, I got 26 of these Salve Amulets. Essentially, to get to the Crystal Outcrop, you need to complete the Haunted Mine quest again, though some of the work is already done as the levers should be in the right position. Once you get to the Crystal Outcrop with your inventory full of wool, mine 1 crystal, make a Salve Amulet, drop it, and repeat. The game doesn't let you have more than one, so you need to trick it into thinking you have none. Once you're halfway through your inventory, pick up the 13 amulets you've made and redrop them to reset the timer. Then finish off the other 13. If you've already completed the Tarn's mini quest, then you don't need to go through the temple again. Instead, you can just teleport to your house and your bookcase will have the Diary of Tarn Razorlore, which you can then use on the amulets to enchant each one of them. Putting the book in the bottom right and enchanting the amulet in the bottom right of your inventory makes the process go a little bit quicker. The process of killing the Revs is also very simple. Load up on Legacy and teleport to the Wildy Lodestone. From there you want to walk northwest to the Forinthry dungeon entrance, and once you're in there, run north to the Revenants. The Revenants straddle the level 30 barrier, so when you're at the northern Revenants, be aware that you cannot teleport away instantly or yak items to the bank. Mash away all the ones you can. The only choice you have is whether you kill the dragon or not. Killing the dragon gives you a better chance at getting the pets, but it's overall less GP per hour, as it usually takes 3+ hits to knock down, and it's not worth the time for the GP. If you avoid killing the dragon, then each rotation takes about 100 seconds to do, give or take a bit because your hits vary a lot on Legacy. This leads to 36 rotations per hour, and there are 17 Revenants per rotation. This leads to 612 kills per hour, which anecdotally matches up with the approximate rate I was getting while paying attention and not getting PK'd. So this is going to be a mock example of what happens if you get an item at Revenant, especially up here in this northern corridor. Let's just pretend like we just got those Bloodweed Seeds. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk ourselves down to level 30 Wilderness. Wait for our yak to catch up to us, and then we'll use the Winter Storage Scroll on the Bloodweed Seed. And then you can use the Winter Storage Scroll on the next Bloodweed Seed. And the only item that you really can't conceivably teleport away are the Adrenaline Crystals, because you get 15 of them, and they're worth like 50k each. So I would just bank whenever you get an Adrenaline Crystal. And then Morrigan Javelins and Morrigan Throne Axes are the same way, where you get like 20 to 30 at a time. So if you want to make sure you keep them, just bank whenever you get one of those items by quickly clicking on your Ring of Wealth. And one very important thing that I do need to mention is the fact that you are going to die. You're on Legacy, so it's very easy for even the noobiest of PKers to kill you. It's basically like shooting fish in a barrel. They're going to teleblock you. They're going to stun you. You can't do anything about that. So just take the death. The only thing I like to do is I take off the Salve Amulet after I'm being attacked, and I'll just yak that to the bank so that when I do die, I still have one in the bank. Because I'm a massive nerd, I mapped out the GP per kill for every Revenant. This allowed me to find the average GP per rotation, which can be extrapolated out to the average GP per hour. And when you look at it, it's pretty crazy. The Elite Wildy Diary gives a 5% increase in your drop chance for all non-coin/Wilderness Slayer drops from Revs, so having that done will increase your GP per hour. On average, each rotation will net 370k GP or 389k GP if you have the Elite Diary done, with 36 rotations per hour. That's 13.3 or 14 mil per hour with the Elite Diary done, which is pretty insane, but it checks out. I was unlucky on hammers, and if you take my kill rate as 600 per hour, I made approximately 10 mil per hour at Revs. Obviously, the actual kill rate is lower because of being AFK and getting PK'd, but I'm still confident on saying this is a 10 mil plus per hour method. Now, because the hammer makes up such a large portion of the GP per hour, I also calculated out the GP per hour without getting any hammer drops. This leads to only 3 mil per hour with the Elite Diary done, which shows the volatility. Some people will make 5 mil per hour, while others will make 20 to 30 mil per hour if they get lucky. This is a very luck-dependent method. Before I round out this video, there are 2 things I didn't talk about earlier. First off is the Advanced Gold Accumulator. It can be a great item to bring, and only bring it if it's in your tool belt, as you cannot lose it on death then. It picks up all coin drops and will add them to your inventory. Not only is this more GP for you, but it also stops there from being red dots on the ground, which PKers use to scout you. The Revenant Drop Enhancer increases the rate of your non-coin, non-Wilderness Slayer drops by 10%. This is very nice to have, but not worth camping deathmatch for extra enhancers, especially because it's lost on death. Revenants can drop them, so just use them as you get them. I found I got one every 3-ish thousand KC, so that meant about 33% of the time I had the enhancer up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did, and if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.